everything's centered. Yeah, it's a little better. Good morning. Hello, Blue, the Red Soldier. How are you today? It's Red. Yeah, I got it figured. What's going on, Red? Okay. That part. Doing a little bit of assembly here. I can't glue these things in since I got to do some painting and weathering. But hopefully, you can still call me Red. Okay, if you insist. If you insist. Who am I to say no? Hey, Tony, good morning. Oh, let's get some coffee. Hey, RQ. I can finally join the stream. What happened to the experimental making room? What happened to my room? I'm up in Maine today. So when I'm up in Maine or when I travel, I bring some stuff. I still do the live stream. Anyway, good to see you, RQ. Glad you're able to make it. Okay. So I've been working elsewhere, meaning I haven't been working on the I've been working on it at the bench. Normally, like I'll just do an assembly of something upstairs when I'm at home. So I started working on two models, of which one of them is that guy. And this is another one of these just absolutely fabulous models. Every Friday, since I have an English lesson. That's great. That's great, man. And I will tell you right now, your English is very, very good. So congratulations. So I managed to get both leg frames built up yesterday, and I spent 7 hours on legs. Yeehaw! The missile truck is my favorite military vehicle. Yeah, this vehicle is spectacular, and the detail on it is off the chain. It is a new model. I'm working on this. Is like I would say, this is like I build something at the main bench, and then I'll also maybe like snap together or assemble something elsewhere. This is the one that I've been working on upstairs when I'm either hanging out with my daughter or watching TV or something. This is called the HiMARS, High Mobility Artillery Rocket System, the M142. And this is another one of these absolutely fantastic models by Meng. Morning, Nick. What's going on, brother? Something. What is it? This is going to look nice once all built up and painted up. Yeah, this one I'm interested in seeing what's going to happen with this. So, Tony, yeah, what's going on? So you got the legs going on the Kshatriya? Anyway, gotten this far into it, and I got to tell you, that doesn't even do it justice. I'm going to take the wheels off. The wheels are temporarily put on. We'll walk through this. We'll do a little walkthrough of what's been done so far because this thing is gorgeous. Hey, Joe, good morning. Will there be sanding? Just wondering if I should stick around. Oh, of course, Nick. There's always going to be sanding. Now, this is going to be a short session. It is a Saturday, but normally I would go long, but not today. I got to get ready to go. My wife's got some work that she's going to do, and I'm going to go help her out with some. Hey, Jakarta is chaos town. There's protests over what? What are your fellow country people protesting? Is there two legs built up? Frame. Hi, Nick. Hello, Joe. Good morning. Good thing I'm not in Jakarta. Maybe. Okay, let's see if I can get. I got a light overhead in a white part, which means you're going to probably lose it. But if you can take a look there. Now I'll flip it over to the level of detail underneath here, and all the details getting washed out. In fact, let's see if I can pull this thing forward. I'll put it back in just a second. But the level of detail on this thing is incredible. Lots of details for the underside. Absolutely. Yeah. This is another one of these. So far, I know I'm sounding like a broken record, and I apologize, but I will tell you, these models are absolutely just fabulous. They're fabulous. Now, are they perfect? I don't know, because I don't know what the real thing looks like. I did do some research yesterday, a bit on the interior of the Bradley, because I will be painting the interior. But I also think I might be doing some greebling in on it, so it might be a little bit more customized than I originally thought. Thursday was someone running over a guy with a black van. Ah, jeez. What is a black, and is a black van sort of like a military vehicle, a police vehicle, an unknown vehicle? That was in Detroit. You should cut out the catalytic converter just for authenticity. Nice, Joe. Thank God I'm not in Jakarta. If I was born in Jakarta, I'd die. Well, hopefully not. Hopefully not. There are people who live in Jakarta. It's large van, which is black. Okay. So no, it was just some stupidity. Okay. All right, let's get some coffee in me, and then we're gonna get started on this. But I'll also show some of the instructions on how this comes together. I mean, again, just the level of detail. Like if you take a look at like the suspension work on it, you know, the axles and everything. Yeah, it's been terrific. All right. The wheels, again, I understand the wheels are rubber, but the molding on these wheels is really good. I kind of got my glasses up, my eyes up close to it. I don't see a mold line on them. So that's, or any kind of flash, which is usually fairly unique for a wheel of this, you know, of a rubber wheel. Nothing there. Now, could I do aftermarket? Maybe. Do I really care enough? Not likely. Making Indonesia better again. The suspension does not work. No, it is fixed suspension. If it worked, woof, that'd be intense. First of all, given how, yeah, RQ, if you take a look and see how thin some of those arms are, on, you know, styrene plastic, I think if it worked, I think it would be, because it's some kind of a, I'm assuming it's some kind of a leaf suspension system. I can only imagine how problematic that might be. I hope they don't break easy. That's exactly the reason. Yeah, 100%. Because if it were that way, I'm sure that they would break. Okay. So let's get Glasses on. Anyway, happy Saturday to everybody. My portable kit. Bunch of sanding sponges, files. Rough nippers, glue, sharp knife, sanding stick, and tweezers and nippers. Oh, there we go. Ten-year anniversary for me and my wife. Oh, that's awesome, Nick. That's fantastic. Congratulations, guys. What are you going to be doing? Good morning, Ken. How are you, my friend? I'm thinking of getting bulk transformers one up in this model kit, I guess, whenever I'm 12 or 11. Okay, start saving up. Why not? Georgia, you keep weapons there? Do you keep weapons there? Well, what do you mean by do I keep weapons? I just happy 10th anniversary, Nick. George stockpiles weapons. Yeah, stockpile. Heard you stored a knife there somewhere. Yes. If one would like to consider that a weapon, yes. I'm ready to go to town. That's awesome. Nick, do you guys have anything special planned? Like dump the kids, go off and celebrate? Or even celebrate with the kids? Makes me feel old. Only goes downhill from there. Nah, Nick. And for a nice dinner, I'll be going out down in 2 weeks for celebration. Nice. Son's first birthday. Got in the way of doing it on time. Don't you hate when your children get in the way like that? Like their celebration, their first birthdays and stuff like that? Ah, God, I hate it. All right, let's start working on the boxes. Thanks, guys. Yeah, of course, brother. TSA says it is a weapon. Oh, of course. Well, given how the hijackers were able to get onto, the planes during 9/11, it was things like this. So, yeah, it is a weapon in that regard. It can be. Power plant explosions. My brain is literally a power plant. Nice. Always here if needed. Always here. Love it. All right, let's get a part glued on. Lighting in here is a little shit, but hopefully when the day gets a little brighter, things will get a little better. Long drive up here yesterday, but it's fine. I'm going to do a quick little shout out on something I watched the last couple of days, last week. So if anybody follows Night Shift, Martin Kovach, first of all, Martin is certainly a world-class artist. I mean, and when it comes to scale modeling, his workmanship, the level of detail that he does on his models, not the construction, but the finish and the weathering, the dioramas he does, and recently even some of the like he's been doing a lot of buildings, like literally the building itself and the construction, and you can picture frame it. Fabulous stuff, right? I've gotten back to the bench a little and working on things again. That's great. Nick, what are you working on? So Martin has started doing a video on a some German, I think it's a sort of like a tank destroyer, if I'm correct. Hell, if I remember. The last two videos he did on the weathering, the stages of weathering, they're fabulous because this is the first time I think that he's actually done a um, a tutorial in a way that it's like this is almost like a step by step, like how his process is. Normally, he does a lot of experimenting, but in this one here, he kind of lays out not only the specifics of what he's doing, the tools, the colors, the reasons. He really lays it all out. So I cannot express enough to anybody that if you're looking to get into weathering or understand how weathering works, check the videos out. The last two are absolutely spectacular. And so drinking crash. Yeah, I'm hoping that you're definitely kidding about that. Back working on the Falk. Nice. And Nick, what are you doing on the Falk? Falk. Falk. Right. Come on, George, find the hole. This is the time where I wish I had, I bet I fucking don't. Bread tabs would be great right about now. All right, that is unacceptable. Give me a second, guys. Just want to test something here. I'm going to show you what I mean by unacceptable in a second. Okay, good. The wheels are not coming into contact. They never end. All right, so got this box. It's glued on the side. All pretty well and done. There are pegs. Everything aligns perfectly. The issue is if you're going to show somebody the underside, but if you take a look at that gap, you unless I'm missing something, like is there something else that's glued on underneath here? Because if that is the case, that goes on, you cannot show somebody the underside because then you're going to show something that's unfinished. Trying to draw a mech that I'm thinking of. It's kind of a mech, but it's a suit for a human to use. Nice, like controlling a robot. Cool. Plot plate will fix that easily. It can. The only issue is I'm on the road. So I'm just taking a look to see. I don't think there's anything that's going on this thing that will cover that. So let's see what we got. We're gonna make do. We're gonna fix, and if we have to. Yeah, that'll do. Okay. So the tab here, basically the badge, one side's clean enough. I'm going to cut that off and I'm going to use some of that because that to me is just not acceptable. You can't just leave something like that completely undone. Now, I understand, these are the sort of, I guess, maybe if anybody's asking, like, so what are the shortcomings of these Meng kits? I think it's like that they're so simple at times that there are not necessarily shortcomings or shortcuts per se, but they do something in order to, that might not be important enough, that kind of thing. But the rest of what you generally look at, the detail, the surface detail, and all of that, it's spot on. Way to be resourceful. Have to. Dude, that's the funny thing. It's like, as you grow as a scale modeler, I think it's like you look at something like this and it's like, it's not a problem. We'll figure it out. I mean, it's an easy solution, right? It's not going to, there's solutions to all of these things. Yeah, that works good also. Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able because I'm not going to be able to work on this at home anytime soon. That's where all my ply is. You come up with another solution. It's like a sort of Warhammer. Does it need a plasma generator rifle? Does it need one? I don't know. Only you can determine that. Okay, first things first, we're going to get this thing filed. So we may be able to actually get one piece on here today. I almost brought another model thinking I'm going to actually get this thing done pretty quickly. But alas, no. Okay. See how much of this we're going to need. Okay. I'm just scoring the plastic and I'm just going to bend it and break it off. Perfect. Would have a travel kit. I know you've seen my evergreen collection. It makes the model collection look small. I can't travel with that. I wish I could, but I think what I need to do is this is actually giving me a good reason to now start maybe bringing what they call it with me, bringing at least tabs with me, bread tabs. Okay. Let's see. Arm thrusters are backup rockets. Any model with their saw. Basically, rockets inside your elbows or something. Probably not the best place to put a rocket. What if you get hit there? Anyway, so anybody, okay, aside from Nick, anybody got anything special going on today? My goal today is to hang out with my wife as much as possible. She has to work for a good bit of the day, but not all of it. So you're going to catch a little bit of my head here. Well, sorry, not sorry. Yeah, it's funny when you start looking at the deficiencies of your travel kit. Like, do I even have a ruler in here? Like a straight edge? Because the thought always, thought is always that when you're traveling, you're just doing basic assembly. You're not doing any kind of hardcore construction. Go to the movies with my son and see the Naked Gun movie. Nice. Yeah, I can't wait to see my Australian uncle again. Nice. When are you going to see them? Oh yeah, I don't know if I'm going to watch FNAF movie December 5th or just go to the hotel. What is the FNAF 2 movie? I scored this thing enough. I don't have a straight edge, so we'll see if we can just we'll wing it. You know what? I'm going to do my best blue here. Secular animatronics and horribly, basically, let me tell you about the lore a little bit. So there's a man named All right, got that piece off. Look at that. Almost like hand in motherfucking glove. So anybody else got anything going on? Tony's going to see a movie. Nick is hopefully hanging out with the missus. Man, his buddies until something came up in his mind there. Oops. All right. Let's see how we're fitting. All of it 5-minute repairs, literally. One of my favorite YouTube channels is a channel called Trash Theory. And it is a Brit who basically discusses, music, popular music, particularly, British stuff, but not just popular in terms of, whatever, like it's currently on the radio, but a lot of like he did a segment on Phil Collins. That was fabulous. I'm not the biggest Phil Collins fan, but I thought it was pretty cool. Dinner, making the pizza and some entertainment. Obviously, the entertainment is for children, so they both know what I'm trying to do. Willy's Wonderland with Nick Cage was better. I have no idea what either of those are. Okay. Let's get some thin cement in here to start melting some of this. But anyway, so it was really cool to watch that. But he's done things on, like punk before it was punk, a lot of stuff on, again, a lot of 80s, 90s, 2000s. Later, he's done like the foundational stuff. I can't recommend the station enough. But anyway, so yesterday as I'm driving up, I'm listening to his sort of take on how a lot of some of the Phil Collins stuff came about. And again, I'm not a big Phil Collins guy, like I said, but I thought it was a really good segment. Anyway, another one of those highly recommended things you may want to consider watching if you're bored one day and you're like, what do I want to watch? Tom's is a little tight there. There we go. So they made I'm trying a bear and a bunny. Yellow colored animals. Good evening, Edwin. How are you? They opened the diner in 1979, I think. Trash theory stuff is all okay. I'm glad to see somebody else watches it. Isn't it awesome? He is the research he does, the way, the style of the interviews, all of it. Yeah. Yeah. Gray States is Phil. Phil, how you doing, brother? What's going on, man? I don't know how I even discovered that station, but it's been like that's like one of those. Every time he releases something every couple of weeks, I'm on it. All right. We are going to let this thing dry. There we go. And then just file it down. It'll be fine. Bunny, that's a place. So your birthday is also printing 3 stuff today. Tidy up 2 files today. Good work for today. A bit more work than sleep. Nice. Edwin, how's your dad doing? Just want to bring this edge just up a little. This one down. And that one up. There we go. Squeeze it a little bit. Okay. Let that dry. Pretty fine. Family also. Hey, Red, is there a shorter version of this story that you might want to do? Dad was okay. It seems like my phone number was leaked. Someone claimed to be from the hospital. I already asked the caregiver, and he is A-okay. Hold it. You mean hold it a second? Were you saying that somebody? I mean, that sounds kind of odd. Like somebody from the hospital called you, or were they trying to do like scam you? And make it over on time. I'm glad you went without me. Glad to. That's why I need to say it really. I need to say it really stupid. Ray, are you up in Maine? I got up here just before 9 o'clock. I left work at 4:20 or so. It was a drive. Let's skip to 1983 here. I think that's a good decision. Somebody's trying to scam catfish me. I've never heard catfish. Tough luck, mom and dad work at the hospital, and everyone knows them. I'm sorry, what department did you say you come? Let me ask my mother. She might know who you are. Click. That's funny as hell. This child's birthday. Anyway. I got to remember, I'm assuming the one that, of course, the one I now cut is the one that doesn't have the marking on it. So. Around the same time, just rolled in this before 9, yeah. I don't know what hospital it could call. It's my mother, not me. Yeah, there you go. Wow. I have to tell you, I got a call recently from, you could tell that it was something funny about the call because it sounded a little fuzzy, but it sounded pretty authentic. We got a call at work about, hey, we're calling up because, because of your, I can't remember what it was, some kind of, your Microsoft 365 account. We heard that, we heard that you have a problem. Just following up on that. Can you just kind of get me into something that'll let me look into this? And I'm like, who the hell are you? I literally had to ask my general manager, are we having any problems with like whatever software we're on? She's, nope. I'm like, okay. So when I got back on, I said, okay, yes, thank you for your patience. Okay, so no, it was a printer. They're wanting to get into my HP printer because there's a problem with the printer. I don't even think we have any HPs. And I said, okay, I'm sorry. So can you let me know which specific printer? Because we got a few of these here. And the guy hung up. It's like, okay. Crazy shit being done today. So I heard a report that SS information was leaked with numbers matching names they have and trying to confirm by phone calling use. It says number, just remember, do not confirm over phone. No, never confirm. Never give that information out. Hey, Jonah, good morning. How are you? Yeah, never give that shit out. Never give that information out. How much time I got? Just about 10 minutes. Just FYI, they have a number and they're trying to confirm. Huh. I just did a couple of global password changes, which is kind of obviously an inconvenience for me because as I'm like firing up devices that use Google stuff, it's like, oh, you have to re-log in. Ah, fuck, what's my password? And I've got a pretty long and annoying password. But at the same time, anything you can do to prevent your shit from being stolen, I guess, is good. Given how last year my wife got fucked by somebody creating a fake unemployment account for her. So when she's filing, and we ran into like serious obstacles with that, that was a little terrifying, shall we say. Okay, we might be running into the same issue here. Yeah, see, yeah, once again, same problem. So yeah, same problem. Super detailed part. I know it's hard to see. Getting glued on here. And that entire bottom part is open. And this one has odd shape enough that it may require more than just having plastic. Okay. This is pretty sweet. I don't want to read all this shit. I can just block someone. Yes. All right, that's shitty. Is butt cheeks one word or should I spread them apart? Jesus Christ. Nice. Okay. That's going to require, and I don't think I have any two-part. I don't have any putty here because the way it's shaped, take a look at the shape of this part. Not that one. Take a look at the shape of this part. Oh, man, yeah. It's going to be a little hard to do. Okay. So what can I do? I mean, it's not like I can't get some more plastic and just start filling it. Do you ever get that future Soviet tractor? Future Soviet tractor. Which one was that? Joe, that sounds vaguely familiar. Which one was that? I'm trying to remember. There's some repair stuff I have to do here too. Let's do some of that. How much time I got? I got a few minutes. I'm going to do a little bit of repair here first. Let's see. I would have said it like that if I remember. Future tractor. I'm trying to remember which one that was. This model's going to require a little bit of definitely some stuff that's going to like some repair work, like maybe like a little bit of either lead wiring or some other kind of plastic repair work. Maybe even a piece of styrene in here. We'll see. This is, I mean, and again, the model's fine. It just that again, there's just some things that they make some shortcuts, right? Give it a rest, my dude. Yeah. Hey, Red, can I ask a favor that you don't? I'd appreciate it. For you, block, Red, this is something image control. Yeah. Yeah. Actually, I think we're at that point. Red, I'd like you to stop this because I don't think anyone's really interested in this. So I appreciate it. Okay. Let's see. Do-do-do. Doing a demo study. I think you have to read an audience sometimes, Red. No one seemed interested. And there's a lot of stuff going on here. So yeah, Red, I'd like you to stop. Yeah, I think especially when other people start commenting on that, yeah, this is getting to be too much. I think now's a good time to stop. Okay. So, all right. So now that we've put that to bed. All right. So what we've got here is we've got now. Yeah, I brought these parts together a little bit closer, which is fine. There we go. It's all gone. Oh, nice, yeah. And that is okay, right? We still like you, bro. Well, that's that. No, that needed to come to an end. And here's the thing, and I'm not sure if Red's still on or how much he's gotten blocked or whatever. One of the, and I was actually going to bring this up to a couple of people offline, but now that this is everybody's kind of welled up on this, I'm not going to, I think this is the first time in my total existence we're actually not going to have somebody continue on this channel. I just don't think a 9-year-old kind of doing stuff like this is appropriate. So, and I think we're in a slightly more mature place, trying to be tolerant, trying to be respectful, but I think it's now time for us to kind of move this on. So. Yeah, Red, I appreciate your being on here, but I also think you may want to find a different avenue. All right, so with that, what time is it? 6:56. All right, so what I've done is I've glued a couple pieces a little closer together. When I'm pointing, let me see if you can actually see it here. I know that this lighting is kind of a little sharp here. This part and the part inside, and you can see this line right there. Right there. Right there. So that's tubing that's supposed to continue. I'll have to gap fill that, or I'll replace it with a lead wire or something like that. But either way. We're pretty immature bunch, but there's a line, surprisingly. There's a line. I know. It's kind of how I feel too. That's why I kind of don't mind stuff going on for a while. So anyway. All right. So how about those details? Looks great. Makes me kind of want to build armor now. What I would recommend, like with anything, is find something that might be of interest. And this is how it started with me. The first time, what got me into armor, there were two things that I saw. I saw the Type 15, I think it's the Type 15, the Japanese tank, which to me instantly screamed sci-fi. And then I saw the Merkava. And both of those tanks just kind of opened my eyes to, oh my God, there's some cool stuff. Find a design that you like, and then you start going down the road of what you might like or not like. Find one of these models that you might like, and they're cheap. That's the other nice thing about it. It's like you spend $20 on AliExpress. And Tony, if you're interested, I can send you a link for where you can find them on AliExpress. But they're cheap. You try it out. You don't like it, you can junk it. But I think you're going to find they're pretty fun. Now, if you don't like a design, absolutely don't build something. Like it's like for me and certain Gundam models. Like you're not going to get me to suddenly become an IBO fan. I just don't like IBO kits. Or you're not going to have me become I don't know, like the G-Quack stuff just doesn't interest me. Tony, do it. Armor is fun. There you go. Just try something. Especially if it's cheap. That's the part of it. George said, good day. Did I say good day? Say going to be all moving chairs? Possibly. My wife's like, I'm taking off here in a couple of minutes. Actually, I'm going to sign off right now, but we're leaving just in a little bit to just kind of get some stuff set up. I'm going to go for there. My brother-in-law builds armor. In fact, I got him a D-Spay 3.0 Verona Tamiya tank kit last Christmas. Ooh, you should get him one, and you should get yourself one. All right, guys, I'm going to tune on out. Probably time for me to head on out. For other plastic to build and break up and gonna build sometimes, and I'm thinking of one of those kits I'm working on. Yeah, the other thing is think about it in terms of diorama. Like if you got a tank and a Gundam next to each other, which is how my brain works too. How can I put these things not in a military fashion, but how can I mold them into a story? Anyway, guys, time for me to roll. Stay safe and stay sane out there. Go out there and do good, guys. Go have fun, enjoy, because it's getting nuttier and crazier, insaner by the day. Do good. I'll be back on tomorrow morning, same time, hopefully a little bit longer. We'll see. I'm going to do some repair work on this if I have time later today, but I got some other things I want to do as well, outside of stuff I'm going to do with my wife. But do good. Enjoy the day, guys. Love you all. Catch you on the flip. Peace.